Chad Johnson gets his first start since the middle of December. A disappointing 4-2 loss against Buffalo. He looks to bounce back after a long time between starting games between the pipes. Another Finnish Olympic goalie, Kari Lehtonen, between the pipes for the Dallas Stars in his last 6 games. A little bit of tough sledding there, a sub-900 save percentage. Dallas won 5-2 in this building against Edmonton on Tuesday, ending a 6-game losing streak. David Krejci to take the opening draw for the Bruins against Tyler Seguin. The game is on. A lot of the Bruins' success tonight depends on better breakouts. Rick, what should we look for?
Well, if they could find the middle of the ice on the breakouts where the centermen are nice and low and take advantage of it, make good passes, look for that, number one. But expect Dallas, like a lot of teams, will have pinched their defensemen down. They got to get the job done along the wall, either the wingers coming deep to discourage that pressure and then use the weak side of the ice, or if they're going to battle for wraparounds, they have to be higher in the defensive zone, out by the blue line, so those battles happen more near center ice.
Milan Lucic on the forecheck against Jordy Ben. Jamie Benn can't get the puck out of the zone. Jamie, number 14, the captain. Jordy, the older brother. Zdeno Chara says, howdy do to Tyler Seguin, caving him in along the wall. Jarome Iginla chips past Ryan Garbutt. Garbutt had a 3-point game, equaling a career high against Edmonton a couple of nights ago. Linesman Brian Murphy goes for a tumble far side. Antoine Roussel tries to chip it in front. Cody Eakin backhands it off the boards to Alex Goligoski. Cross ice for Trevor Daley. He looked good in black and gold, by the way. Brad Marchand down on the half boards. Goligoski pries it free. Roussel back to Garbutt. His shot blocked. Eakin gets it over to Daley. His shot with Roussel on the doorstep. Some good zone time here for Dallas on the second shift of the game. Bergeron takes the chip from Riley Smith. He's got Marchand. Deeks. The puck goes into Goligoski. Skates and skids to the end board. Daley up the wall. Roussel holds, clears the red line, and delays on the dump in so Dallas can get a clean change.
Like to see the Bruins get a shot on a 2-on-1, especially early in the hockey game. Lehtonen hasn't felt the puck yet. Make them make the stop in that situation.
Here's Ryan Spooner. This morning, Claude Julien telling the media he would like to see Spooner go to the net more, take a few more chances in the attacking zone, use his speed to try to create goal-scoring opportunities like the 2-on-1.
Well, Riley Smith makes a nice play here. He gets his stick chopped a little bit by Garbutt, but then he takes away the wall on the chip down the wall by Daley, and that creates a 2-on-1. A nice pass by Smith. Bergeron 2-on-1 with Marchand. He tried to pull this puck to his backhand, had his head up the whole way, thought about shooting that puck, but he thought he had a better play to pull it back in, maybe slide it across. Just couldn't get the passing lane he was looking for.
If you keep and score at home, that's what? At least 4 2-on-1s in the last 2 games on which the Bruins have not gotten a shot, as Doug Jarvis illustrated in his after second period interview with you last game.
Well, we showed you 2 of them if you saw the open, and that was Krejci and Iginla, Krejci, Lucic. And you think back, there was another 2-on-1 with Marchand and Bergeron when Gunnarsson made a nice play to deflect Marchand's attempted pass. And right there, Bergeron, Marchand again. Bruins with nothing to show for it, certainly no goals, but you'd like to see the goaltender have to make a stop in those situations.
Rick, we've heard you many times say, if you've got the puck, put the puck on your hip, show shot. Are you seeing enough of that from the Bruins?
Well, Bergeron had it there,
yep.
and I truly thought he was going to let it fly. And I don't know if the defenseman going down, Goligoski going down, discouraged him. He was maybe looking far side, glove side, and maybe the body got in the way, but he decided to try to make a pass.
Kevin Connaughton's shot saved by Chad Johnson, and Eriksson, the ex-Dallas Star, spanks it clear. Sergei Gonchar flicks it in deep. Gonchar playing in his 65th career game against the Bruins. Of course, he was there for a short spring as a rental.
He's played over 1,100 in his career.
And Ray Whitney is playing in game 1,301. Daley pulls it to the middle of the line, fires it off the high glass. It dies. A dead bounce from McQuaid. Thornton can't clear. Goligoski leaves the puck behind. Campbell tries to chip it along. Thornton scrapes it forward. Paille in the middle tries to knock it down. Knee-high pass from Campbell, but Paille was going to the goal.
Yeah, if that pass could have connected, you had Torrey Krug coming late, too.
McQuaid bounces it to the circle. Campbell turns and fires with Paille screening against Daley, and lets it in the goalie. Matt Campbell, a big hit on the far side against Peverly, knocks him down. Here's Krug firing cross ice, and a saving stab by Goligoski. McQuaid's drive saved by letting him rebound into the circle. Peverly locks up with Campbell and out muscles into the corner. Now Sean Horkoff by the steal in front of penalty coming here. Campbell scores! Gregory Campbell going to the goal. The Bruins on the forecheck, and they draw first blood.
Great stick-to-itiveness by this fourth line for the Bruins, Jack. Winning a number of battles. McQuaid standing in at the right point, taking bodies and pucks to the net. They don't have to be pretty. Claude Julien also talked about, they do rely on their depth and balance. They do have scoring by committee. We talked about the need for Krejci's line to be more productive because they get a lot of scoring from their top two lines, but they get scoring from everybody. And when they get that kind of effort from the Campbell line, with Pye, with Thornton, with the deep pitching in, Krug on one side, McQuaid on the other, keeping the pressure in the offensive zone, winning those battles, and taking the puck to the net.
As they do with all scoring plays, they're going to take a look at it, make sure it's a legal goal. The referees tonight, Steve Kazari and Mark Lemelin.
Well, there was a penalty. He called it on the play when Pye was trying to get to that slot area. He got hooked from behind as he was trying to get a wrist shot away. And because it doesn't have a lot on it, it ends up getting into the neighborhood of Gregory Campbell. It banks off his body, off his skate, then back through the legs of Letton. That's not a distinct kick motion. That's a puck just reacting off a body, off a player, bang, bang. And certainly from where I'm sitting, Jack, that should be a good goal.
Yeah, it looks more like reaction than anything else.
Yeah.
As a guy who played a little soccer, I don't mind a kicked in goal. I wouldn't have any problem with them legalizing that.
Yeah, count them all, right?
And say, hey, it's hard enough to score in this game, right? As long as you're not throwing it into the goal with a closed glove, what the heck? Now they're going to take a long look. This is a judgment call, and we've seen these go both ways, and it really depends on the majority opinion of the guys who have watched literally tens of thousands of games and devoted their lives to hockey in the Situation Room in Toronto.
Yeah, it's up by his shin pads, and then it comes down by the ice, and he's putting a little brake on because he can't get into that blue paint. He can't make contact with the goaltender. He's got his head down trying to locate the puck. Goes off his skate. I don't see a distinct kicking motion there. Taking longer than I thought, though.
Yeah, well, Lindy Ruff, who is an associate coach of Team Canada at the Olympics, along with Claude Julien, a little shrug of the shoulders there saying, yeah, to me it looks like a kick, but who knows? Claude Julien saying this morning that one of the great benefits of being on that Team Canada coaching staff is that you get in that brain trust with the likes of Mike Babcock and Ken Hitchcock and Lindy Ruff. And you get to talk hockey at an abstract level. And Claude, being a student of the game, said it is great to learn from these guys who've devoted their lives to the game. Interesting to get the different perspective. I'll tell you one thing, a lot of people in Buffalo wouldn't mind having Lindy Ruff back. Too late. Here's the call.
Kicked into the net.
Wow.
Kicked in, no goal.
Wow.
Also, Dallas penalty number 10, 2 minutes hooking.
And on the stoppage, there's going to be a hooking call against Horkoff.
That's just reaction. It's not even reaction. That's a puck hitting a skate boot and going in. First goals are so important too, aren't they?
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely.
Especially when you've been struggling like the Bruins have in terms of, you talked about in the open, confidence, or the chicken or the egg, confidence, making plays. I mean, that's a great shift by that energy line. They should be rewarded with a goal. That one should count.
You know, Brick, I said the Bruins drew first blood. It was actually just a bruise.
Well, they get a power play as a result.
Yes.
And another topic of discussion is the Bruins special teams. And we'll see if they can get a very meaningful power play right here. With the goal taken away, it might be pretty important for them to have a quality power play right now because they've established themselves here in this game with a good shift by that Campbell line. And the 2-1 coming on the heels of the 2-1 with Bergeron and Marchand as well.
Bruins power play brought to you by Mazda.
Dallas penalty number 10.
On the power play, when tied, the Bruins are 0 for their last 8. Last time they scored on the power play with the game tied was in the New Year's Eve loss against the Islanders. Krejci, Spooner, Lucic, Krug, and Iginla to start the power play. Lucic nudges it back to Krug. Iginla's drive blocked down, and that one really stung Antoine Roussel, who is one of the leading forwards in terms of shorthanded time on ice for Dallas. Vernon Fiddler hammers the backhand, and it skids off of Krejci's skates, and Dallas will get a partial change here. David Krejci takes the hit from Ryan Garbutt to send it back of Lehtinen. Lehtinen off the glass and into the protective netting, deflected out of play. No delay of game call here.
Well, the Bruins get what they want, which is a face-off win. David Krejci was strong on the draw, got a little help from Lucic. Krug gets pressured, so he slides over a one-timer for Iginla, but Roussel right in the way, makes a good shot block, and then the work starts along the wall.
Spooner, Krug, the wrist shot into the body of Jordy Ben. Iginla's blast, that deflects off Garbutt's stick. Garbutt up to the line, and it trickles into the neutral zone. Krug recovers, getting pressure from Cody Eakin. Saucers the chip backhand pass to Krejci. Now Spooner, a little quick stick to get away from Eakin. Krejci, the shovel to Spooner, to Iginla, into the zone, back to Spooner. Cross the goal mouth to Lucic, to Krug, and a glove save by Lehtinen. Beautiful rhythm on the passes. The Bruins setting up the Krug shot, and Lehtinen makes the save of the young knight.
Well, it starts in the neutral zone. Nice little exchange between Krejci and Spooner, not once but twice. And then Iginla posts up at that right wing blue line, and then Spooner with a nice backhand feed. Lucic knew he had Krug creeping in. He lays back a nice one-timer. Lehtinen gets a pretty decent push. Doesn't get all the way out, but at 6'4" and about 215, Jack, it covers a lot of that net.
Riley Smith to Zdeno Chara, the one-timer, the puck wobbling, and he clubs it into Jamie Benn. Chara to Riley Smith to Bergeron, the redirection off a body to the corner. Louis Eriksson out there along with Carl Soderberg. They jam to the corner. Bergeron takes a swipe at it. Peverly clears out of the goal mouth. Eriksson brings it back to Chara. Chara slides it down the boards. It deflects right to Jordy Ben, and he spanks it 200 feet.
Well, Dallas is going to be real aggressive when they can with their penalty killing in their own zone. Look for Bergeron to be in that high slot area for possession plays.
Bergeron to Chara. Out of the corner, Goligoski against Bergeron. Eriksson moves it through the corner to Soderberg. He reverses all the way around to Chara, who has to play it on the backhand. Chara back down the wall. Eriksson taps it for Soderberg. Makes the diagonal to Smith. Makes the shot. Gets his man off his feet. Fiddler. And it comes all the way to Eriksson. Low for Soderberg. Tries to shovel for Smith. Well scouted by Trevor Daley. Horkoff's out of the box. One shot on goal for the Bruins during the power play. Riley Smith's shot and a blocker saved by Lehtinen. Horkoff seals off Smith. Gets the puck to Vernon Fiddler, who scored on that penalty shot in the previous meeting between these two teams. Fiddler, a checker, willing to drop him. Also has a high skill level. Terrific all-around player.
A heads-up change, too, right by the Bruins. Bergeron came off the ice with Riley Smith, who really lines up as a defenseman on that power play unit, Jack. He's still deep in the offensive zone, and they want to make a line change. Bergeron comes off. Boychuk steps on. You got to get two defensemen out there. Heads-up play.
Bartkowski doesn't connect. That's the reason for the icing there. Riley Smith saying he was really happy to be in Boston. Different hockey environment in Boston. Thornton can't clear the zone. Jamie Benn's shot saved by Johnson. Bartkowski. Campbell can't handle the pass. Ben takes the beat. He's got Eric Cole in front. Looks for Seguin, the shot. Johnson getting square to it. Now Matt Bartkowski brings it to the circle. Chips off the boards. Paille picks it up through the center circle. Whacks it into the right wing corner. Thornton on the go. Lehtinen pokes it away from him. Jamie Benn turns it up. Now here's Garbutt. David Krejci scoops up the puck. Chara can't control. Eakin finds Roussel to drive. Shatters Paille's stick right at the heel of the blade. Chara takes the hit from Garbutt to move it to Krejci. Back to the Boston captain. It's off Eakin's stick. Lucic muscles it through to Krejci. Little wig-wag, and Lucic uses the pick to get by Roussel. The centering pass. Iginla couldn't get to it in time. Krejci gets good shoulder position to knock the puck to the corner. Lucic against Daly. Daly up the boards. Iginla blocks the outlet attempt from Garbutt, and Roussel finishes the job, but the Bruins take possession back. Chara the quick up to Krejci. The deep pair changes out. Krejci cross corner dump. Iginla scoops it on the backhand off Daly's skates. He gloves it down. Now sends it toward Lucic. Roussel, or rather Eakin, intercepts. McQuaid sends the puck in deep. Now it's Lucic back to the goal. Angled off by Eakin. Iginla trickles it to Lucic. The battle's along the boards here. Ray Whitney pries it loose. Garbutt into space. Whitney trying to accelerate. McQuaid taps the puck to Krejci. Krejci drops in, goes cross ice. Torrey Krug returns to McQuaid. McQuaid takes the middle of the ice, comes across to Krejci, who has to turn the stick, flip it from behind the red line. Jordy Benn deep in the Dallas zone. The Bruins didn't get speed through the neutral zone on the breakout. 11:57 to go, first period. The Bruins for a moment thought they had Gregory Campbell's fourth goal of the year for a 1-0 lead. Not so.
The former Boston Bruin and the centerman for the Dallas Stars, who's leading the team in points, is our key matchup tonight, brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Tyler Seguin not only leads this Dallas Stars club in points, but you could put his name atop the goals, power play goals, and game-winning goals list. But despite his production, Seguin says he's still working on other parts of his game, namely success in the face-off dot. He's often consulting fellow former Bruin Rich Peverley on how to make sure those numbers stay consistent.
Well, Tyler Seguin chugging along at about 41% at the face-off dot. Here's Marchand off Bergeron's cross-corner bouncer. Daly sealing off Marchand. Now he just gloves him and mugs him along the half-boards. Goligoski sends it out to Seguin, working Chara's side of the ice. Seguin cross-ice for Jamie Benn. Could not pull it underneath the bar as Johnson made a sudden and decisive left-to-right move, limiting Benn's options. Chara around behind Boychuk, past Jamie Benn all the way to the neutral zone. Kevin Connauton goes cross ice. Sergei Gonchar, and Jamie Benn gets a piece of it past the red line, dumping it in. Dallas changes out. Torrey Krug holds. He's got Ryan Spooner working it out. Spooner taps off the boards. Eriksson tries to sweep it past Connauton, but cannot. Nichushkin gives it back. Now Rich Peverley, the tap to Sean Horcoff. Peverley and Horcoff, couple of veteran players, along with an 18-year-old Valery Nichushkin, who made the Russian national team for the Olympics. And it really is in a great situation to learn from a bunch of tremendous players on that roster. They're very hopeful that Nichushkin's going to emerge as a star. Jaromir Jagr says number 43 in green someday is going to be, quote, the best player in the NHL. They're pretty ambitious.
Great skill set, size, and when you combine those two elements, and if you have an open mind, you're willing to learn.
Garbutt to Jordy Benn. The shot blocked down by Campbell. Then it sprays into the crowd. Roussel, the tap for Eakin. Eakin on the tight pivot, brings it back. Brendan Dillon's shot. Clean stick block. Kevin Miller getting a good view of it, and out to Sean Thornton, who trickles it to the neutral zone, but Dallas gets possession back.
Good inside position by Miller. He tracked the puck well and was very aggressive to get in the position with stick where he needed to be.
Dillon the flip to Eakin, weaves into traffic, finds an opening as Jordy Benn at the point goes to the corner for Antoine Roussel. A good check by Bartkowski, disrupts the flow. Campbell chips off the boards. Paille plays the body against Jordy Benn. Campbell swipes it cross ice for Thornton. Dillon cuts it off. Eakin takes it back. Here's the Wizard. Ray Whitney circling back toward the line, but Lucic is on him. Miller flips the backhand for Krug around the boards. Thornton pops it out, but again, Dallas takes possession in the neutral zone.
But there's that wraparound where the winger has to be high. That puck gets to the neutral zone.
McQuaid to Krejci. Lifts the backhand toward the corner. Goligoski back. Iginla unloads on Goligoski. Here comes Fern Fiddler, throws it for Whitney cross ice. McQuaid poke checks the puck away. Iginla fires it cross ice. Daly on the tight turn. Now it's Goligoski backhanding off the glass. Johnny Boychuk fresh off the bench. Indirect for Iginla at the line. He gets caved in on Chiasson's hit. Lucic off Whitney's leg. And here comes Fiddler. 3-on-3 as Lucic races to get back. Fiddler to Chiasson. The shot goes into the legs of Johnny Boychuk. Chiasson's name widely pronounced Chason. He said he's okay with that. But when we talked to him in November, he would prefer Chiasson. Here's Bergeron throwing it in front. Seguin, the backhand tap cross ice. Boychuk going in for the heavy hit, and he gets the worst of it against Eric Cole. But he's in the right spot to go cross corner.
Reminiscent of the first time these two teams met when Boychuk stepped up and Fiddler came looking for him.
Fiddler's willing to do anything. Another Nashville guy, by the way. Kevin Connauton, who did not play in the first game between these two teams. He's a rangy defenseman. He came to Dallas from Vancouver, which had drafted him in the trade that sent ex-Buffalo Sabre Derek Roy to the Canucks last season. Ryan Spooner takes Bartkowski's feed. Spooner pulls up over the line. Miller's shot goes off Cole's stick and lobs into the protective netting with 7:39 to go in the first period. Looking for contact? It's a good place to find it. It's pretty special when a player comes back to the building where he first played in the NHL. Louis Eriksson, a hero here for 7 years, and got a tribute during the TV timeout. .501 games with the Dallas Stars. Spooner taps the puck to the wall. Miller up ahead, but Peverley's there with the classic chopping strides to accelerate. Gains the Boston line. Peverley fires on Johnson, the rebound. Loose in front. Nichushkin uses the big body. The bomb from Dillon. That goes off Nichushkin in front. Jordy Benn blasts it right into the body of Soderberg. Soderberg carefully to the red line. Finds the seam for Bartkowski jumping up. Throws it in front for Eriksson, but Lehtinen blocks the pass. Now it's Spooner in the corner working against Jordy Benn. Spooner in a wall battle. Peverley gets the puck to Benn, and Peverley gets it back and flips in.
Real explosive move by Bartkowski, Jack, on the back end to jump into that play after two real good shot blocks. The second one by Soderberg in order for the Bruins to get possession in their own end.
McQuaid sizzles it around. Thornton kicks it in deep. High in a puck battle against Connauton. High finds Thornton. A good reach from Roussel. Taps the puck loose. Still loose on the boards. Eakin draws it inside, but Krug has it as he couldn't keep possession. Campbell high slot, and Roussel battles it out to the neutral zone. Cody Eakin, the ex-Washington Cap, turns Krug, takes the space, goes right across the goal mouth, and Krug's going to the box. Delayed call coming against Boston here. Thornton taps ahead for Paille, and here comes the call. Holding on the way through.
Well, it starts at the blue line, and Krug didn't know he had a little help to the inside, so he pivots towards the middle, and that allows Eakin. He had help from Campbell, but he didn't realize it. Now he's at a bit of a disadvantage, and just that right arm work by Krug to angle Eakin off around the goal line in that near side post, enough to send him to the penalty box.
People all over New England are getting their Lucky Charms out, and I don't mean the cereal either, because the Bruins penalty kill has been hurting for certain, allowing 10 power play goals on just 27 shorthanded situations in the last 7 games. Goligoski's drive off the end boards. Cole on the rebound, and Johnson snuffs it out.
Pretty lively rebound, comes right back out to Eric Cole. When you play at home as often as you do, 41 times a year, you get pretty familiar with bounces right off the draw. The Stars are able to get to the loose puck in the corner. Benn makes a nice back diagonal to the point, and that lively rebound off the backboards on the short side came right to Cole. Nice stop by Johnson.
Some people thought Eric Cole was done then in 2012. 35 goals. Benn gets it into the middle. Chara there, but he can't make the clear. Bergeron finds Marchand. Chance for his 4th shorty of the year. Saved by Lehtinen. Marchand Deacon trying to get Lehtinen to open up, but Lettinen's one of the best at showing it and taking it away.
Now, Chara Fan on the backhand clear attempt, and it actually worked to the Bruins' favor. It allowed Bergeron to get possession of the puck and Marchand to get separation in the neutral zone.
Campbell reaches behind, catches it on the backhand, and then slides it in deep. Lindy Ruff will change out his power play unit. 1 shot on goal so far. Halfway through the power play for the Stars. Here's Cody Eakin, who got the Stars on this power play. Leaves it off for Whitney. It caroms off of Campbell back to the neutral zone. Eakin to Peverley inside the line. He's got Whitney on the far side coming in on Johnson. McQuaid turns and hammers it from the goalie's pass, but he can't get it past Peverley. Here's Gonchar, the wrist shot into the crowd, and Johnson finds it.
Well, Brad Marchand with an opportunity on a breakaway short-handed. Char makes the steal. Doesn't get a lot on that, but it's right to the tape of Bergeron. And all Bergeron wants to do is get that puck past Goligoski and allow Marchand to pick it up no matter where it is. If he tries to go tape to tape, Jack, chances are it gets deflected, so it has to be in the skates of Marchand. That's a heads-up pass. And Marchand, obviously, with the ability to handle that puck and the time to keep up some speed, create the breakaway chance.
Bartkowski battling it out to the neutral zone, and it's offside against the Stars with 32 seconds to go on the power play.
And Lettner did a good job to stay square the entire time. A couple of little fakes by Marchand. He tried to get him to open up, try to find that 5-hole, but it just never materialized.
One of those less is more goalies. Always seems to be square. Eakin wrists it around the boards. Gonchar pinching down, and Louis Eriksson spanks it the length of the rink.
That's such a good stick.
The puck coming from behind him. He's able to time the speed of the puck and then hammer it out. Eakin, the cross-corner dump. Krejci gets his stick lifted by Whitney, who's as clever as they come. Eakin fires the puck cross ice. Peverley catches it on the back end of the carom into traffic. It's tipped to the far corner. Horkoff on the deflection in front. Krug's out of the box. 2 shots on goal during the unsuccessful power play for Dallas. Eriksson down the wall. Tips over Gonchar. Eakin taps the backhand up the board. Smith is right there. Ex-Dallas GM Joe Nieuwendyk once said that he thought Riley Smith had hands as good as anyone he'd ever seen. And he did look in the mirror. And there's an example of it. Miller to Smith, the draw just past the stick side post. It looked as if it was going to catch the iron and go in. Marchand battling, but Goligoski steals it cleanly. Hits Roussel in the seam. He dances around Bartkowski. Roussel tries to cut the corner. Johnson holds the post. Garbutt is there. Snaps the pass to Daly. Daly fires it toward goal. Off Roussel as he jams with Miller. Fiddler back to the goal. Bergeron around the boards to Marchand. Marchand holds. Bergeron gives him a target. That opens up this space. The Bruins changing out man by man. Marchand overskating the puck as Garbutt got a piece of it. 3 minutes to go in the opening period. The Bruins had a goal disallowed. Gregory Campbell was in a jam in front, made an adjustment for the puck, and in Toronto they ruled that he made a distinct kicking motion to knock it in. And theirs is the only opinion that counts. Johnny Boychuk can't keep the puck in the zone. It's offside against the Bruins. 2:45 to go in the opening period. 0-0 because Kari Lehtonen keeps it that way. Late first period from Dallas. Last time the Bruins were here was New Year's Eve heading into the year 2012. They lost that night. Frost brewed Coors Light brings you tonight's cold hard facts. The Bruins have allowed 2 or fewer goals in 30 non-shootout games this season. They're 28-2. When the defense is working, the offense tends to work. Chara taps the puck into the neutral zone. Jamie Benn lobs it in. Seguin has to tag up, and he does. Boychuk and Chara with Krejci, Iginla, and Lucic. The long diagonal. Chara looking for Krejci, but it's a little out of sync and offside at the Dallas line.
This Dallas club, Jack, a little bit of a Jekyll and Hyde, huh? You know, they would have that important win over the Edmonton Oilers on Tuesday night. Prior to that, they had lost 6 in a row to all Eastern Conference teams, ironically. But prior to that, they went 7 straight where they had points. They went 5-0-2. They beat the Kings twice, Colorado, Nashville, Vancouver. Some pretty good hockey clubs right there. And the games that they didn't win, where they took points out of, they went to extra time, Sharks and Blues.
Yep. Connaughton goes down after the hit by Erickson in the corner. Fiddler wailing away on the puck, but it's still in the skates of about a half a dozen players. Soderberg taps. Whitney takes it away and whips it across to Gonchar. Immediately into the neutral zone. Chiasson flips it in. Bartkowski. Chiasson tries to toss it past the post. And it's no goal. Quickly ruled that Chad Johnson had control before the pitchforking got underway.
Yeah, Chiasson came barreling in there, too, when that puck was up for grabs. Made some contact, it looked like, with Chad Johnson. They like him to be a power forward, and he's doing what he should do, which is to try to crash the net and get to a loose puck. The deflected pass by Bartkowski goes short side, and here we go.
Chara gets in on Fiddler. Looks as if McQuaid was in there for a moment. Everybody's paired up. Even Gonchar has a dance partner.
They're sending all the Bruins back to the bench, but they only have 3 white jerseys out there, and I'm counting 5 green.
Chara looking for Fiddler. McQuaid steps in. Now it's 2 against 1. Connaughton comes over, grabs a hold of Campbell.
Now I'm mad at you.
Now let's go back to this little play right here. A little chip to the front of the net. That's by Fiddler. There's Chiasson. There's that chop right there by Fiddler. Now, those things don't go unnoticed, Jack.
All right, Chara and McQuaid are in. And so far only Fiddler is in. And Bergeron is seeking an interpretation out at the red line from referee Mark Lemlin. Now I see Steve Kazari motioning with his hand upward, which may, well, I'm not going to guess. He's going to.
Well, when you watch the replay, it's hard to figure the Bruins being shorthanded in this situation.
Calling the ice down, there's no goal. Play was complete. After the play, we got minors to 38 of Dallas. We got 54 and 33 of Boston for roughing.
So roughing all around, no fighting majors. The Bruins will be shorthanded.
That means your Dallas Stars.
Claude Julien this morning talking about the penalty kill. The Bruins allowing seam passes, easy ways to the net, protect the house. The watchwords of Claude Julien's coaching tenure. So here they go. High on a puck on edge, makes sure he gets it deep.
Big kill here, late in the period. The intensity picking up. You've already had a goal taken away from you. It's important that the Bruins go into this intermission in pretty good shape.
High Dex Goligoski, who was on one edge. Ben shoulders down the Bruin. Boychuk, who's been on the receiving end twice. Daniel Paille up ice, 2-on-1 against Sagan, not known for his D. Campbell's shot, good back pressure by Cole, denies Campbell a good bit. Another 2-on-1 where the Bruins don't really get a quality chance.
No, that's not a good shot at all, given what could have potentially happened right there.
Chiasson in the corner. Bergeron gets great position, shoulders him off. Over to Boychuk. Rolls it up the wall. Sagan picks off the puck up to the dot. Drops it back to Goligoski in the final minute. Sagan bunks the one-timer as the pass was in near his skates. Here's Goligoski, who just made that shovel to Sagan. Jamie Benn coming off the half boards, looking for Sagan cross ice. Boychuk whacks it back to the neutral zone. Bergeron extending, finds the puck. Marchand was offside, but he gets one leg back over the line. Shovels it through traffic.
Too many men.
Too many men on the ice as Krejci jumped over, and the Bruins clearly had 5 skaters, so they're going to be down 5-on-3 for the last 35 seconds of the opening period.
Well, another 2-on-1 for the Bruins when they don't get a quality chance. Paille almost seemed to have his mind made up that he wanted to make that pass to Campbell. You got to make sure Campbell has separation from Cole on the back check. If you're going to give him that pass, I'm sure Danny Pye thought that he did, and that's why he delivered it. They don't get the quality chance they're looking for, and now the Bruins trying to make a change. Bergeron's going to stop up on this puck. He creates the turnover, makes a play to Marchand. Marchand stayed on side, but then Krejci stepped on the ice before Bergeron was completely off. The Bruins with too many men on the ice with puck possession, and now we're at a critical juncture in a hockey game. Bruins are going to use this juncture to call a timeout. But after the steal by Bergeron, he's just going to stop up on this puck. I can't get to it first. There's the steal. They're in good shape right there. Marchand comes back. He stays on side, but then Krejci steps out. And Bergeron hasn't gone for the complete line change yet. And that's where your too many men occurring.
It is the fourth bench minor against the Bruins this season, all for too many men on the ice. Dallas has not scored a 5-on-3 power play this season. The Bruins have allowed 2.
Yeah, and obviously no Seidenberg in your lineup, gone for the year, and Chara in the penalty box right now. So very important 35 seconds here to end the period.
So Johnny Boychuk, who is ranked second on the team among defensemen in shorthanded time on ice per game, out there with Matt Bartkowski and, no doubt, Patrice Bergeron.
What a play by Bartkowski off the draw, Jack. Lays out.
And Bergeron deflects the pass. Now Seguin to Benn into the attacking zone. Cross ice looking for Goligoski on the doorstep. Cole in the corner. Benn. Whitney's shot into the skates of Cole on the doorstep, and Chad Johnson picks it out from between the blades of Eric Cole.
Well, Whitney just kind of drifts right in that slot area, and the Bruins, trying to have the best in terms of stick position, body position, but there is a seam there. Benn with that little subtle fake as if he was going to go to the top of the umbrella, finds Whitney for the one-timer. Kind of healed it a little bit, and it got blocked by Cole.
Boychuk winds up, drives it. Seguin the stop, the drive. Boychuk the block. Bergeron clears it, and that'll finish off the first period.
Tough luck period for Boston. They competed. They did a lot of good things. I thought their breakouts were real good here in the first period relative to the lack of consistency in that area in the games that they've lost recently. And I'm still stymied by the fact that they didn't count that goal by Campbell. Thought the Bruins would have had the lead, but they'll be challenged to start the period again. 5-on-3, second period, fresh sheet ice.
We all know the Bruins have had a difficult time in second periods, but Dallas has been even worse than Boston in the middle periods. I know you guys are going to look at the power play, Dale, but really, I got to know your opinions from back there. Did you think the Campbell goal was legit or should have been recalled as it was?
Welcome back to the American Airlines Center. Rich Peverley is a veteran player who, when he was in Boston, was used to having other veteran players around him who were accustomed to winning. Now, when Peverley arrived here in Dallas to wear a green jersey, he knew he was going to have to up the leadership role in that locker room. Peverley said the teams he played on with the Bruins, they were used to winning. They knew how to identify inconsistencies in any given game, and they could fix the problems quickly. Now, Peverley says he knows that this Dallas Stars club that's young, they have the potential to be able to do that. Their heads are in the right places, and they're learning how to win properly.
Jamie, thank you. With Jamie Erdahl at ice level, alongside Andy Brickley with our NESN production team, I'm Jack Edwards. We're at American Airlines Center in Dallas, getting set to begin the second period. Peverley 0-3 at the face-off dot in the opening period when the Bruins thought for a moment that they had a 1-0 lead, but did not. And you see SRO in the Boston penalty bench as Sean Thornton, who seldom, if ever, kills penalties, is in there as the Bruins will begin the period down a couple of men. Thornton serving the bench minor for too many men on the ice. Happy to let you know that our producer, Brian Zucchello, is blessed with another beautiful daughter, Juliana Grace, whose big sister is Brooke, and proud of her little sister right there. Good job by Melissa bringing Juliana Grace into the world. Brian Zucchello did nothing except stand there. Then again, what are we used to? Jamie Benn gives it in front, the jam. Cole going right to the goal, but Chad Johnson holds his line. Seguin slips it low off the post. Chiasson denied by the iron. Jamie Benn holds. Draws Boychuk. It's 5-on-4 here. Seguin's drive into the pads, and Boychuk hammers it 180 feet. Marchand on the go. And Seguin on the back check there. Here comes Alex Goligoski. Goligoski run over the center dot. Bounces it past Jamie Benn. Kevin Miller rotates it off glass and all the way down the ice. About 3/4 of a minute to go on the Bruins penalty kill here. Paille chops the puck loose. Campbell with a short-handed bid with Paille coming. Paille shot saved by Lehtinen. Campbell going crashing into the end board.
Second real good opportunity for the Bruins in a short-handed situation tonight. Marchand with a breakaway. Back in the first period, and now Paille and Campbell. Campbell does a nice job in the neutral zone to force this turnover. Then he attacks at the blue line, creates a second turnover. He's got a decision to make. Do I handle this puck, or do I just run a little screen and let Paille skate into it? Either way, Paille gets the puck. But Lehtinen is in the perfect position, not only make the save, but smother any kind of second chance opportunity.
Trevor Daley, now Sergei Gonchar. He's got Eakin on his left. Gonchar carries it to the line, but the Bruins stand up at the line, and Eakin actually had slid across, so it's offside.
And not to be lost in that sequence, a couple of things. Kevin Miller with a nice play, Jack, going back in his own zone to retrieve a puck. Looking over his right shoulder, what do I have to play on the backhand? But then he spins and wires it off the glass to clear the zone. That allowed Marchand to put some pressure on early in that PK. And then a good stop by Chad Johnson through some traffic from the point. They caught a break with Chiasson, hit that post. And that's what you need sometimes when you're trying to climb your way out and get back to being a really good penalty-killing club.
Final 10 seconds to the 5-on-4 power play. Cody Eakin pulls up. Trevor Daley to Gonchar for the one-timer, never gets through. Erickson has his stick chopped out of his hands by Garbutt. Thornton's out of the box. The Bruins are 3 for 3 on the penalty kill against Dallas tonight. Roussel throws the puck toward the front. Eakin's backhand blocked down by Boychuk. Look at the morning skate. We saw Doug Huda, Bruins assistant coach, spending a lot of time instructing his young defensemen. So much of this game, even at this level, is teaching, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And these are young guys that need to get reps, but you got to continue to coach them up, teach them, remind them about body position, stick position, and at the same time, compete. And that has to be consistent in the message as you're teaching.
And one of those young defensemen, Matt Bartkowski, bouncing it through center, but Bergeron can't handle the hot pass. Fiddler across the goal mouth. Nobody home for Dallas. Riley Smith fights it clear to the neutral zone. Nishushka with a big hit on Bergeron. Marchand fights through, gets 2 chances, lets it and reaches out and rakes the puck back to himself before Bergeron can get there. Bergeron took a mighty hit in the neutral zone to make that happen.
Yeah, when you extend and you know the body contact's coming, you're risking a little bit of issues, maybe an injury, but you put yourself in a very exposed play in order to make the right play. And that's that little backhand chip to Marchand. And Marchand's got, 6 goals in his last 12. He's had a couple of great opportunities tonight. Already mentioned the short-handed breakaway. That time, nice little elusive forehand, backhand, quick little forehand move as he steps inside.
Seguin wins the face-off away from Krejci. Seguin 2-1 at the face-off dot in the opening period. Lucic angles off Ben. Zacharik can rotate it to Miller, to Krejci, to Iginla, across the red line and into the Dallas zone against Trevor Daley. Iginla right across the goal mouth, but Lucic couldn't catch up to it. Eric Cole getting back pressure from David Krejci, and the pass offline. Daley into the back of Ben's skates. Here's Lucic with the quick turn. Hits the brakes. Chara walks in, the wrist shot off the blocker of Lehtinen, and then the high glass behind the goal. Lucic to Iginla, the triangle into the corner for Krejci, but Daley checks in. Seguin to Daley, back to Seguin, up to the Dallas line. Cole cross ice. Goligoski takes it on the off wing for him. Now to Holkoff the shot, leg saved by Johnson. Boychuk alone, uncontested on the rebound, spins it down into Boston's attacking zone.
That's one of those plays, Jack, where it's tough to pick up Horkoff because Dallas is making a line change. Second period, he's real close to that offensive blue line.
Spooner over the line against Connaughton, drops for Soderberg. Glove save, Lehtinen.
Pretty good counterattack by the Bruins. Neutral zone, structure, speed, attack. Don't turn down opportunities to shoot. Maybe that was the one criticism of the Bruins, Jack, in the first period when they had opportunities to put pucks at Lehtinen. They were looking to make maybe the extra play, tempting as it can be, especially in a 2-on-1 situation, but they get a good shot that time, labeled high glove.
Ryan Spooner, who is playing in his 24th NHL game, still looking for his first goal. Bo Jillian is praising Spooner's ability to pass the puck, but said he wanted to see more out of this guy and get him off the schneid in the goal scoring column.
The hardest thing to teach, scoring.
Soderberg taps the puck back to the corner and hops over Beverly's stick. Eriksson, the long diagonal for Krug. The wrist shot with Soderberg on the tip, and the puck tumbles wide of the post. Horkoff flips it ahead for Nichushkin, 6'4" forward. Nichushkin pulls the stripes on his socks all the way up under his knees, makes his legs look unbelievably long. Spooner's shot, glove save with a flourish. Kari Lehtinen is feeling it tonight. But Spooner taking the shot when it was there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was inside that near post, but the willingness to shoot the puck. You got to think it was a message from the Bruin coaching staff that the Bruins weren't shooting enough in that first period, despite how well they did play. And Spooner maybe thought he had something a little short side. He's looking, he's surveying. What are my options? Do I have a play? Do I, anybody on a net drive? Maybe I can lay a little soft shot towards the 5-hole where it's difficult to control the rebound if I have somebody going there. If you don't, try to beat him yourself.
Shots on goal were 11-6 for Dallas in the first period, but 6-1 Boston to even at 12-12 for the game in the second period so far. Gregory Campbell off the end boards. Adam McQuaid comes cross ice. Bartkowski plays it on a bounce, sends the backhand forward, gets a second chance and hits Thornton on the tape. Thornton muscles it through. High in the corner, brings it back to Bartkowski. Thornton, the drive through a couple of legs, loose in the crease. Campbell taps at it. Paille in the back door, but Lehtinen puts the trapper down on the puck.
Bruins using their points nicely when they've been there. Forwards do a nice job getting to loose pucks in the offensive zone. Bartkowski's wide open at the left point. It's a good look by Paille. Campbell gets to the top of the paint. Nice triangle out high. Rotation by Thornton. Give Bartkowski an option. If they take away the shooting lanes, make yourself available. Create a different shooting lane. The overhead, all those bodies. I mean, that's the NHL today right there, Jack. All kinds of bodies in front of the net. That puck found the paint, but Lehtinen found it first.
A little shout out to Harry Hamilton and Hopkinton from his nephew Casey, who showed great tenacity between periods. Coming down here and getting our attention. Wanted to say hi to a longtime Bruins fan in Hopkinton, Massachusetts. Ray Whitney, perhaps an underappreciated player because he's had so many different stops. But obviously, all kinds of teams have wanted the talent of number 13. Here's Riley Smith. Throws it forward for Marchand to Bergeron. The shot blocked down. Fiddler got his body in the way. Marchand with a stick lift against Daly to keep the puck alive. The diagonal offline for Krug, and he'll have to retrieve.
I was hoping Krug would move a little bit because that's where the passing lane was from Marchand's point of view.
Marchand angles off Fiddler, tries to hand pass the puck. The Bruins get possession back off a Dallas touch. Krug to Boychuk, goes again D to D. Krug up the wall for Bergeron. Daly still nursing an ankle injury. Missed more games this season than he has in the last 3 or 4 combined. Lucic mugs Goligoski back of the goal, trickles it forward. McQuaid can't control the bouncing puck. Ben can't fish it out of his skates. Chara takes the space, gains the line, gives it to Lucic. The shot rifles wide on the stick side, and it takes about 150-foot bounce.
No, nice look off by Chara. Ben played for the pass. He got lost in coverage. He didn't pick up Chara, and then he didn't pick up Lucic on the back check.
Goligoski gives it away to Chara. Off the boards for Lucic. Whacks the backhand pass Daly. Goligoski on it around the boards. Krejci with a good read. Pops it up. Horkoff stays with it. Miller wins the puck battle. Sends it deep for Iginla against Goligoski. Iginla holds with Lucic going to the net front. Throws it off the apron. Goligoski takes it and loops it into the Boston bench. The face-off in the Dallas zone. The Bruins getting a lot more shots on goal, but still none passed. The road ahead brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. A couple of days off in Chicago, and then the Blackhawks, a Sunday matinee on NBC. Then the Martin Luther King Day matinee, a tradition in Boston, on Monday the 20th against the LA Kings. A little payback for the Bruins, but a tough back-to-back for them. We'll have that one for you on NESN, a 3 p.m. start. Lucic across the front. By the way, take note that that is a different start time than originally was scheduled. It's because of the 2 consecutive matinees in different time zones. The Bruins have to travel. This is hybrid icing against Dallas. So take note of that. Originally scheduled for 1 p.m. It is a 3 p.m. game. If you have those little refrigerator magnet calendars that are so popular in the Edwards households. My father demands one every year.
That's because everybody's going to the refrigerator all the time.
Exactly. Well, you know, they keep the beer in the fridge, so you get a look at it a lot. Jordy Bench, around the boards. Spooner drives it. Soderberg the rebound. 2 saves by Lehtinen. Roussel scoops it up and out, hoping Garbutt can chase it down. Roussel spins it middle. It's off McQuaid's stick. Nice recovery because Eakin was going to walk in. Erickson gets blindsided, hammered down on the hit by Brendan Dillon, and McQuaid offers to go with Dillon right away. That was a hold-your-breath moment for Bruins fans, and Erickson seems to be none the worse for wear. That's an important moment in Louis Erickson's career.
Yeah, nice
2 concussions this year.
Nice to see him react, get up, get right back into the play. The only question, it was a clean hit, but how late was it?
Yep. Zdeno Chara pulls it out in front of the goal. The pass does not connect with Soderberg, and it goes the length of the rink. How much of recovery from a concussion, and I know you had plenty of them, is physical, and how much is psychological?
Well, when you have multiple, it becomes psychological, and you know, it's so hard. As we take a look at the timed hit by Dillon, stepping up, it's within that 1.5 count, so that's why you don't see an arm up from an official saying it's too late, that it's interference, kind of the way Rome hit Nathan Horton-Jack back in the Vancouver Stanley Cup final days, where that was just flat out too late. But no, you're talking about psychological issues, really, when you get into multiple concussions.
Rome now a member of the Dallas Stars, and a scratch tonight. And Erickson seems to be doing just fine on the bench. So when you were coming back from what they used to term getting your bell rung,
yeah,
back then, how important was it to take a shot like that and not feel any fuzzy?
Real important, but you know, you don't want to put yourself in those situations. But then again, you don't want to be you know, overthinking it and looking around too much. You know, you just got to let your natural instincts take over when you get into those danger areas. But it's important that you absorb a hit, you know, as soon as you possibly can, that's of some kind of, you know, dangerous, if you want to call it that, category. And I would put the Dillon hit in that category.
The thunderous hit you heard was Johnny Boychuk on Valerian Nichushkin.
You know, and it was interesting dynamic, too, to have McQuaid go right up to Dillon, and both players, you know, Dillon probably saying, hey, good hit. And McQuaid probably says, yeah, you're probably right. I make enough of those myself.
Yep, and then Boychuk answering on a talented player for Dallas moments later.
Yeah, the fact that Erickson got right back up, too, probably played into that discussion or that non-verbal contact between those two players.
Bergeron swerves over the line, looks for Riley Smith, and Peverly on the back check, getting his stick in the lane. Cole pops it up along the board. Goligoski against Campbell. Campbell puts the body on it. Goligoski up the board. Peverly can't get it out to center. Miller in a puck battle right in front of the Boston bench. In comes Marchand for a bang. And the Bruins will change out here. Daly going D to D to Goligoski. He saucers the long diagonal to Cole at the red line. There goes Daly up the wing. And the Bruins knock it down. High firing the puck tape to tape to Gregory Campbell off Gonchar's stick. Gonchar back to his own goal. A good read from Paille. Sends it to Campbell. Slows it in front. Thornton's backhander just wide. Thornton off the half boards. Krug's drive. That fells Fiddler, but he pops right back up. McQuaid blocks the exit for Dallas. Now here's Campbell working it down the wall. Campbell tries to whip it middle. Gonchar pokes it back to Daly. Daly finds Fiddler up the middle of the defensive zone. McQuaid with the good reach to poke it loose. Campbell dumps in so Dallas can change.
Dallas has 6 or 7 guys on the ice right now.
No doubt. Still, Johnson squeezes the knees, and the Bruins are asking, why not? Too many men. And now Horcoff comes in high on McQuaid after McQuaid was banging beneath the chin on Vernon Fiddler. You know, one guy's enough, but now here comes the second guy, and the Bruins are now wondering, okay, it was 2 roughings against Boston, 1 roughing against Dallas in the first period. Now Horcoff comes in while clearly McQuaid was engaged with Fiddler, and there's nothing. Well, maybe there's going to be something.
Well, they're getting the short end of the stick right now as far as the calls go. Not by a wide margin, but enough to get your attention. Dallas had 6 guys on the ice, and even though they don't have possession, it was for a good 10 seconds. Count the jerseys. 5, 6. There was even a 7th guy making his way to the bench. Just too many bodies on the ice, and even though they don't have possession, that's too many men.
Well, it's going to be matching. Claude Julien is quite demonstrative. Not liking what he's getting for a result out of this interpretation by the referees.
And I'll just add one more frustrating note while we're on it, Jack. You know, when you go back and you watch, and we saw it, at ice level when it happened, on the Campbell goal, and I know it's not the officials on the ice's final decision because that comes from somewhere else, but the reaction by the Dallas players involved in the play, and I'm talking about Lettinen and Daly in particular, they reacted like it was a good goal.
Yeah, their shoulders sagged.
They're pretty close to it.
Yeah, there was no Martin, Brodeur, obvious waving it off, making the interpretation for them, as we've seen Marty do so many times during his career. Krejci trips up Eakin along the boards, and the crowd demands a call and doesn't get one. Bartkowski knocks it down at the red line. 4-on-4. Where history this season says the Bruins should have a distinct advantage. Kevin Miller. Bartkowski comes out of the crowd, but it tips loose to the neutral zone. The Bruins have the best 4-on-4 goal differential in the NHL. Dallas, the worst. So number 1 against number 30. We'll see if the Bruins can add to that trend.
Well, at least get to overtime then.
Bruins, incidentally, are the only team in the 30-team National Hockey League not to allow an overtime goal to be scored against. Bartkowski up to the red line, snaps it through the corner, lets it in quickly out of his goal. About 3/4 of a minute to go in the 4-on-4. Chara fires it off the webbing of Lettinen's glove. It was going wide. Seguin shovels the puck middle for Gonchar, quickly to Jamie Benn. Seguin going up the far side. Chara with the radar sweep. Here's Seguin, the tap, and then Soderberg right in the seam. Seguin telegraphing the tap pass to Jordy Benn. Soderberg carries all the way into the attacking zone, fakes the pass for Spooner, fires on Lettinen, a little pop-up rebound that he couldn't find at first, and Spooner swoops onto it. Gives it back to Chara, the tap down the boards to Soderberg. Soderberg holds, draws Jordy Benn, wheels it around through the corner. Gonchar unopposed, gives it forward to Seguin. The Bruins in the middle of a change. Seguin flying up Boychuk's side of the ice, finds Jamie Benn, pulls up, gives it to Jordy Benn. The shot saved by Chad Johnson, and he clamps down on it for the faceoff with 4 seconds to go in the 4-on-4. 0-0 mid-second period in Dallas.
Time now for the Berkshire Bank exciting rewind. Let's take it back to the first period. Critical call in this hockey game because we're scoreless right now here in the second. And it all starts with a play along the wall. The Bruins are in real good shape, winning battles along the boards. Nice rotation. You have Paille coming back through the middle. He can get back, take away the neutral zone. The pinch down the wall by Thornton. Now the Bruins establish their forecheck. Good drive by McQuaid at the point. And now the battles ensue again along the wall. The Bruins energy line just doing outstanding work. Campbell's going to get there first. He's in a one-on-one battle. Good support by Thornton. Good read by McQuaid to come down the wall. Why? Because you have support to the middle. That's Paille again. And Paille's going to create the turnover with Horcoff. Draws a hooking penalty on Peverley as the play continues. This puck deflects up off the body of Campbell, comes down on the ice, off his skate, and through the legs of Lettinen, but it was ruled a no goal due to a distinct kicking motion.
Every month, Berkshire Bank is giving away a Kindle Fire HD. Plus, at the end of the season, Berkshire Bank will assist one lucky winner with their mortgage for a year. All you need to do is vote for your favorite exciting rewind. Go to NESN.com/Berkshire Bank to enter. Berkshire Bank. Life is exciting. Let them help. Thornton, Paille, Campbell reunited. This is game 3. Goligoski's drive, a blocker saved by Chad Johnson. Chiasson tries one and deflects off Krug, and Johnson holds the post. It's back to 5-on-5. Bergeron with his head up finds McQuaid. Now Krug jumping up on the rush. Tries to find Bergeron. Bergeron swims around Goligoski right next to the post, and Lettinen blocks it with the right leg pad. Chiasson hammers it off the boards. Krug has to reach up to knock it down and takes a hit from Eric Cole that clears the zone. Chara north and south for Riley Smith. Daly knocks it away from him. Peverley nudges the puck to Chiasson, who hit the post earlier in the period. Chiasson with Cole jamming in front, tries to wrap around, and Johnson is there, but there's going to be a goaltender interference penalty called. And
going to be on Eric Cole, I believe.
Yeah, Eric Cole was jamming pretty hard, and Chad Johnson is slow to get up. He's got his headgear off, and Don Del Negro, the Bruins trainer, is out. They're going to look at, oh boy, is Johnson messed up here.
I had to believe that you can actually get hurt through those goaltender cages, but it happens. Chiasson, he's going to go for a wraparound. There's Cole working the front of the net. You can see the stick come up and catch Chad Johnson.
I think it might have been Chara's stick.
Yeah, which is why Cole's saying, how can you call me for the penalty? Johnson's looked good tonight.
Yeah.
Real calm, poised, confident, in a good position. He's allowed the game to come to him. He's controlled his rebounds for the most part. The overhead, that's the stick. Zdeno Chara that makes contact with Johnson and somehow gets through that cage and cuts him.
Crowd reacting to the replay here.
Almost looks like they're going to call this penalty off.
They have taken the penalty away, which is interesting because I don't believe that is reviewable. I don't believe that is reviewable by video.
It had to be a discussion between the two linesmen and the two referees to say, let's get this right.
You know, I wonder. It was definitely Chara's stick that got him. But you wonder if they might have sneaked a glance at the overhead scoreboard. Yeah, Chara ends up goring Chad Johnson. But it will remain 5-on-5 here.
Well, you're all for getting calls right.
Yeah, no doubt. But exactly how did they get it right? Because the integrity of the system has to be maintained. But as long as they were looking at nothing but ice, although there's about a 35-foot diagonal high-def screen right above their heads.
And I don't know if you could hear it at home, but the reaction inside the building when they showed the replay on the Jumbotron almost coincided with the call, didn't it? Or the lack thereof. Or reversal.
So on we go. Eakin and Bergeron on the faceoff. Bergeron wins it cleanly. Chara whacks it around. Eakin tries to send it to Garbett. Chara's there to nudge the puck to Marchand. The Bruins have numbers 3-on-2. Marchand for Bergeron. It's just under his heel. Trevor Daly turns behind his goal, chucks it up the boards. Marchand tries to seal it off, but cannot. Roussel muscles it forward. It comes right back, and Marchand tips over Roussel. Miller steps into Garbett. Good body contact, and Bergeron's the next lane. Bartkowski indirect for Marchand. Marchand the backhand. Eakin picks up the puck in the seam. The drive Daly saved by Johnson. Ryan Garbutt on the near side. His parents had a sense of humor. They would have named him Sig. That means he would have been Cigar Butt. There he goes into the corner. I have to say that once again. Sorry. Eakin, the shot from the top of the circle off the end boards, and it rattles around to the near side. Hey, there was a boy named Sue once, right? Ray Whitney in the corner trickles it back. Now it's Vern Fiddler on the end boards. Miller tries to staple him in. The puck's underneath Fiddler. Miller finds it, goes indirect. It bounces away from Marchand. A good pitch from Brendan Dillon to keep it moving. And the Wizard Ray Whitney goes into the slot. The shot, glove save. Horkoff denied by Chad Johnson's glove stop.
Good stop by Johnson. I don't know if Horkoff got as much on this as he would have liked. The puck was a little bit in a forward position. But a nice pinch down by Dillon to keep the play alive. Spin move by Whitney. He's been making plays like this for a long time. The puck might have been outside the post. It was a little forward of Horkoff. But nice to see Johnson make 2 saves in this sequence after suffering a bit of an injury with that stick from Chara.
The Fiddler line's still out there. Gregory Campbell along with Daniel Paille and Sean Thornton countering for the Bruins. Whitney, the tight turn out of the corner, sends it all the way across the Gonchar. The wrist shot goes off Boychuk. He bats it out of the air, and he's going to go for 2 minutes for delay, and that's the penalty that Andy Brickley hates the most.
And it's just a reaction by Boychuk. The Bruins are in coverage. They defend well. The puck pops up in the air. Boychuk's just trying to bat this puck towards the glass or towards the boards and get it out of maybe a potential dangerous area. Over the glass and out. Bruins shorthanded again.
Bruins emerging from their toughest penalty-killing stretch of the season and kept Dallas off the board. The Stars 0 for 3 with 5 shots on goal with the man advantage tonight. Chiasson to take the face-off. Jamie Benn, Eric Cole, Alex Goligoski, and Tyler Seguin, the other skaters out there for Lindy Ruff's Dallas Stars. Chara winning the puck battle, but he can't clear it past Goligoski, who swivels it to Benn. Seguin sneaking in the far side. Cole to Benn to Cole. It rattles around, and McQuaid gets it to the line. Goligoski, great hands. They rule that he played it above shoulder height. It's going to be playing the puck with a high stick in the face-off all the way to the Dallas end. That looked really close.
It did. It did.
I thought it was about armpit height.
Yeah, at first blush, it looked like Goligoski made a good hockey play here, and then it was low enough for possession, but referees right on top of it. Their opinion, not low enough, and because they're on the power play, face off back in their own zone.
If you're a loyal Bruins NESN followers, you know Rick's couplet on that is shoulder for possession, crossbar for a goal. Chara tries to sling it deep, mishandles it, and here comes Chiasson. Chiasson takes the middle of the line, taps to Cole. He's got Goligoski back at the point. Cole back the wall for Goligoski. Cross ice. Sagan's one-timer got almost nothing on it. Jamie Benn through the corner. Seguin picks it up. To Benn, he holds, banks it to Seguin. He's got Goligoski near his side, rotates it to Benn in space. The shot, saved Johnson, no rebound with Chiasson taking an extra whack just in case it came loose.
Now the mobility of Seguin and the confidence, their scoring leader, having a terrific year.
He's got
good
5
bounce.
power play goals to lead the team
as
well.
And his mobility out high, but that confidence level, you know, you're an offensive-minded guy, and you're the last player, you know, deep in the offensive zone, or everybody else is. You're out by the blue line. Anyway, makes that pass to Benn because of his mobility, but the Bruins do a nice job on the box out, allow Johnson to see that wrist shot by Benn.
Bergeron tossed off the face-off dot. Marchand will take it. Bartkowski and Miller, the penalty-killing defensive pair. Gonchar taps to Daly. Down low for Ray Whitney, who's got tremendous vision and skill. Whitney to Daly in the left wing corner. Chips it back to Whitney. Miller dives and belts it all the way down the ice. What an effort from Kevin Miller.
He's been real good tonight. All the D have been. Their compete level, their decision-making, their effort, very good to this point in the hockey game.
We go back to Doug Huda's intensity with the defensemen at the morning skate, an optional skate, but the young defensemen were out there and they were soaking it up like sponges. Bartkowski, one of those guys who was getting the advice from Huda, battling in the corner. Gonchar pops it down the boards. Bergeron pries it loose and tumbles it out to center.
Positioning and leverage.
20 seconds to go on the power play for Dallas. 2 shots so far for the Stars with the man advantage. Trevor Daley has Nichushkin on his right. Daley gains the line, sends it through the seam. Bartkowski lines him up and bangs him in the corner. The puck comes loose. Nichushkin masters it and brings it to the near boards. Gets it back from Gonchar. The drive gloved and then bungoed to the end boards. It's back to 5-on-5. Boychuk's out of the box. 2 shots on goal during the power play. Paille wins the puck, just lifting Whitney's stick. Here's Campbell with Boychuk in the middle. Campbell fires it across the slot. Paille rotates it down low. Cody Eakin lugs it up the wall. Campbell wins the puck battle, and here comes Iginla against Daley. Iginla gets underneath. Iginla spins. Daley locks up. Iginla knocks him off his skate. Triples it in front. Nobody home. Whitney gets the puck up on edge. It rolls and curves, but won't go on Johnson, and it's icing.
I'll be curious to see what Dallas does right here. Their forwards are leaning over right now. Fatigue definitely a question mark for these guys. Bruins with fresh bodies on the ice. Critical juncture in the game. Under 4 minutes to go, second period.
Yeah, Dallas used its timeout in that 3-5-on-3.
That's right.
End of the first.
I thought that was Boston's timeout.
Krejci wins the faceoff. Krug with a jump in his stride, goes around the net, looks for the backhand, and it gets blocked down before it gets to Letton, and I believe off Gonchar's leg. Krug, low for Krejci, tangles it against Gonchar. Krejci shielding the puck around to Lucic on the rotation. Lucic, a snapshot, leg saved by Letton, and Eakin can't clear the zone. He is gassed. Krejci snaps it back to McQuaid. The quick release blocker saved by Letton, and Krejci tries to bring it back to McQuaid again. Eakin muscles the puck out to the neutral zone, tumbles down after contact with Krejci's stick. The referee's arms stay at their sides. Eakin's shot, blocked down, gets his own rebound, shoves it in front, loose in the crease. McQuaid sprays it off the far boards. Eakin at the hash marks. Johnson has to glove it for a face-off in the Boston zone with 2:47 to go in the second. They call Dallas Big D. We've seen some Big D tonight. It's still 0-0.
On Bruins Face Off Live, we introduce tonight's NESN Mobile Bruins poll. Which current NHL brother combination is your favorite? We have 2 from each conference. Reply A for Jamie and Jordy Ben, B for Braden and Luke Shen, C for Daniel and Henrique Sedin, or D for Eric and Jordan Stahl. Text your answer vote to 536-536. Messenger data rates may apply. Text help for info and visit NESN.com/terms for terms and conditions and a privacy policy. And there are the Ben brothers.
And Jamie, obviously a lot of people liking the Stahls, who, because of the, shall we say, mass incompetence of the Metropolitan Division, Pittsburgh accepted. You never know. Kirk Muller's guys could find their stride, win 6 or 7 in a row, and get right back in the playoff picture, as Philadelphia did. You know, everybody gave the Flyers up for dead, and you know, if the season were to end today, thank goodness it doesn't.
Yeah, we're in a very competitive stretch of the schedule right now leading up to the Olympic break, but imagine what it's going to be like for bubble teams in the month of March.
Garbutt with some good work, cuts back into the Boston zone. Miller is there again after back pressure from Eriksson. Here's Spooner gaining the line. The shot saved, juicy rebound. Eriksson has it skid past his skates. Garbutt looks to trade rush for rush. Antoine Roussel has to wait at the Boston line, and the Stars want to change.
Another good play by Kevin Miller, and you know, once he finds that puck in his neighborhood in the defensive zone, he's got his eyes up, and he sees an indirect pass available to help create that potential 2-on-1 with Spooner and Soderberg.
Brendan Dillon, who had that huge hit on Eriksson, does not connect. This is icing against Dallas.
The Bruins puck management was a concern for the entire coaching staff. They've been real good at it tonight. The decision-making along with the execution. That's a great pass. Indirect. Forwards love passes like that, Jack. When the defenseman sees you and he makes that perfect indirect off the wall, allows you to skate into it. I mean, you're just in such a good frame of mind when you receive that puck. You have a great deal of speed. You know a quality scoring chance is coming.
Bergeron and Ben on the face-off. Ben, the left shot, tends to take the face-offs on the left side for this line, and Sagan, the right shot, takes him on the right side. Nichushkin gives it away to Bergeron, fires it toward Letton, and he kicks it to the corner. The puck going well wide of the goal. Riley Smith locks up on the wall with Jordy Ben. Sagan fires it in direct for Jamie Benn. Marchand cuts back away from Nichushkin. Now Smith gains the line. Jordy Ben knocks the puck loose. There's Bergeron in close support. Off the corner boards. It rattles to the far side. Boychuk pinching down. Hesitates as he had a little traffic jam with Riley Smith. It trickles to Jordy Ben. Stick handles out of the zone. Bergeron knocks the pass away. Chara to Boychuk. Long indirect off the boards for Riley Smith.
Yeah, just a little miscommunication between Smith and Boychuk. Who's stepping inside, who's staying along the wall to make the play with the puck, and they both went to the inside. Good shift again by that line, though. Fundamentally strong, good support, good rotation. If you don't have a play, get it down deep into the corners where the battles will continue.
Let's go Bruins, the chant from the black and gold clad fans. And getting soundly booed by the majority who are here for the Dallas Stars. Bartkowski on goal with Paille on the doorstep. Bartkowski still looking for his first regular season NHL goal. In the final minute of a 0-0 game in the second period, another icing against the Dallas Stars.
Don't miss all the Hockey East action this season on NESN. Tomorrow night is the Battle of Comm Ave when Boston University heads over to Boston College to take on the Eagles for the first time this season. Join Tom Caron and Billy Jaffe live from Connie Forum starting tomorrow night at 6:30.
Krejci, Lucic, Iginla, Bartkowski, and McQuaid. The Krejci line in a production slump. Just 1 point between the three of them. That Jerome Iginla assist in the last 5 games, one of which, as you mentioned earlier tonight, Rick Milan Lucic missed because of illness.
Yeah, and Iginla with 10 shots in those 5 games. It sounds okay, but he's capable of putting 4 or 5 on net every night, especially when you play with a guy like David Krejci and Milan Lucic. Lucic just with 5 shots in those 4 games. He's capable of doing a little bit more, and you're going to hit some dry spells. It happens no matter how good you are. But because the Bruins rely on them for a lot of their offense, certainly for their portion of the offense, they need to find ways to score, whether it's at 5-on-5 or with the power play.
And the line has just 2 shots tonight, one for each wing. Krejci without a shot on goal. Krejci knocks the pass for Eric Cole down to the corner. Lucic with 25 seconds to go in the period. Krejci the drop pass. Lucic tries to go wing to wing. It's off Cole. Iginla chips it up. Bartkowski pulls the puck along, wiggles over the line. Bartkowski's backhand knocked down. Goligoski. Here's Krejci. He scores! David Krejci ends the drought with 4 seconds to go in the second. The Bruins are up 1-0.
Right on cue with this line. Bruins looking for production from these guys, but give Lucic, first of all, real good credit. This puck was up for grabs in the neutral zone, and he made a play to the middle of the ice to who? Matt Bartkowski, who's been real good. He's had stretches where he'd be good in the first period and kind of fall into some bad habits later in the hockey game, but he's been real good tonight. He's able to step into the offensive end. No panic in his game. His best attribute is his skating ability. He's able to get separation. He knows it's late in the period, get the puck towards the net, and Lucic is able to get retrieval. And David Krejci uncovered in the high slot. Beautiful shot, Walker side.
The horn sounds to end the second. The Bruins with a big, late, emotional lift.
Well, I love the fact they came out with a purpose in that second period, Jack, and that was to shoot the puck. They didn't turn down those opportunities, whether it was just a shot coming across the blue line or a 2-on-1. They're penalty killing, too. An area of concern has been real good to them.
Well, Dale, we all remember the goal that David Krejci scored with 0.8 of a second left on the 24th of October at TD Garden to beat the San Jose Sharks, and now he scores with exactly 4 seconds to go in the second period against the Dallas Stars. Let's face it, the guy is great late. Alongside Andy Brickley with Jamie Erdahl at ice level and our NESN production crew, I'm Jack Edwards. We're coming your way live from American Airlines Center in Dallas. The Bruins on a goal by David Krejci 4 seconds from the end of the second period have a 1-0 lead on the Dallas Stars. So let's fly to the bench for an interview with Brick and Bruins assistant coach Doug Huda, brought to you by Cape Air, your wings to 44 cities in the U.S., the Caribbean, and Micronesia. Book your tickets at capeair.com now.
Dougie, coming off that loss to Toronto Maple Leafs on Tuesday, what were you looking for in terms of improvement in your team game tonight?
Well, you know what, I guess playing with a little bit of passion and just some speed, and so far I think we've got that at times, consistency, and like I said, you know what, it's a long season, you can go through ups and downs, but we just need to make sure that we're all together, and it seemed like a 5-man unit out there instead of playing a little bit of individuals, and play harder in all aspects of the game.
Pretty good first period. If there was any criticism at all of your guys, maybe not enough shots. It almost seemed like the message between periods for period 2 was shoot the puck every opportunity you get.
Well, obviously he's a great goaltender, and you don't score if you're not shooting. So we need to put more pucks on him, and we need to make sure we're managing it the third period and get pucks in deep. They got a great transition. They got good speed. So we got to keep hammering that at him, and we got to go out and have some fun this third period and win a big game.
Thanks, Dougie. Good luck in the third.
Thanks a lot.
Kari Lehtonen, a strong game in goal for Dallas, having made 23 saves so far tonight. And Brick, what do they say? Something like 70% of communication is body language and tone of voice. And from Doug Huda's posture and his tone, you could tell the message that he was delivering not just to you and our audience, but to the Bruins players.
Yeah, well, it was one of even keel, be confident, play as a group, play together, and, if there's criticism coming from the outside, that's just noise. We're a good team, we're a good group, and we have an opportunity to win a hockey game. We've got a 2-game road trip, difficult game Sunday against Chicago, but we need a win tonight after not beating Toronto, and it's that kind of business-like attitude that certainly that's what I took from my conversation with them.
Lindy Ruff starts a crash and bang line out here in the third period. Cody Eakin flanked by Antoine Roussel and Ryan Garbett. Roussel with a stutter step past Krug in the corner on the backhand, tries to wrap, and Johnson was waiting for it. You think they scout video? That's when ricochets off of Krug's leg just wide of the goal, and Krug trips up Garbett, and the effort pays off for Dallas. The Stars will get their 5th power play opportunity in a row in this game.
Well, it started with a stretch pass by Dallas coming out of their own zone. Krug was kind of drifting in the middle of the neutral zone. Roussel got open on the right side, and that lengthy pass led to a one-on-one play to the outside, and that's where the wraparound came from. And then the Bruins can't work that puck out the right side. Garbett's going to make a little move, and the stick is in the neighborhood, as they say. Garbett goes down. Bruins shorthanded again.
Seguin. Ben fires it into the crease. Marchand breaks it up. Goligoski back against Bergeron and Marchand. Bergeron firing across the middle, and you add to the pile of 2-on-1s on which the Bruins do not get a shot on goal. Chara with the give it and take it away radar sweep to keep Dallas from penetrating.
And 18 shots in the second period did the Bruins.
Seguin, the long pass to Chiasson. Chiasson down into the corner. Drops it off to Jamie Benn. Goligoski fakes the shot. Seguin has it go under his forehand in a lot of space. Right in front, Cole tips it home. It's 1-1, a power play goal. The Bruins have given up 11 power play goals in their last 8 games, including tonight.
Well, this is where Cole hangs out. He hangs around the front of the net. He's a pretty big body, kind of an upright skater. He has good balance, good strength. He's a good goal scorer, hand-eye coordination. Ben's a real good player. Seguin, real good player, obviously. They have potential to have a really effective power play. This play's going to come from the half wall. Seguin didn't really have a play. He kind of misfired on a potential one-timer. I'm not sure what his purpose was, but he just kind of threw the puck in the general area of Cole. No matter who gets credit for this goal, the game is tied.
Bartkowski wraps the puck down through the corner. So in terms of game time, 1:12 after Boston scored, Dallas ties it up. The fastest an opponent has answered a Bruins goal this season was 41 seconds on the 2nd of November on the island. There's Fiddler jamming away, and Johnson smothers the puck. Fiddler has been a thorn in the Bruins' side in this 2-game season series, which concludes tonight. Colton right now being credited with his 13th goal of the season from Seguin and Goligoski.
Yeah, pretty good bounce for Dallas on that play after the misfire by Seguin. Seguin just kind of throws it in the direction of the goal, and it took a funny bounce, deflected up over towards the glove side, found the back of the net. Cole was right at the top of the crease. He got knocked down, and maybe that's why there's some back issues, and he didn't even know the puck was coming in his direction. His stick just happened to be in the right spot. And that deflection certainly surprised Johnson and beat him just by that left shoulder and glove.
Of course, Eric Cole earlier in his career had his neck broken by Brooks Orpik. Worth noting that Cole got up and skated off after that. Milan Lucic along the boards. McQuaid holds it. The wrist shot goes into Iginla, who's jamming with Brendan Dillon. McQuaid swings it to Bartkowski. Flip-flops with McQuaid, who sets up for the one-timer. The drive goes off of Garbutt and into the protective netting. Ryan Garbutt getting within about 8 feet of Adam McQuaid, even though he knew that McQuaid was going to uncork a bomb.
I like this little exchange out high, though, by Bartkowski and McQuaid. You know guys are feeling more confident with their roles and their ability to play at this level. When you see Bartkowski take this puck and walk the blue line, McQuaid's going to slide in behind him. You see these kinds of plays in 5-on-4 situations a lot more frequently, but when you can do it 5-on-5 and have the confidence to do it and the creativity to do it, guys are feeling pretty good about their games.
Off Lettonen's save on Krug's long shot. Dallas counters. Soderberg in the defensive zone, scoops it up and out, and the puck rolls all the way down into the Dallas end. Captain Jamie Benn back after it. Leaves it for Gonchar and then gets the puck back. Louis Eriksson with a sweep check, and Spooner nudges the puck to Chara. Out to Eriksson, tries to self-pass. Sagan takes it out of the air. Dallas changes out. Boychuk up to the red line. Tumbles it off the far corner boards. Daly and Smith lock up. Marchand tries to rake it out of the skates. Bergeron finds it. Krug wrists it around through the corner. Marchand can't take it on the backhand. Cole back out onto the ice. Bergeron angles him off. Marchand turns. Saved by, no, it's in. No goal. Yes, it is in. I am unclear on the signal from referee Mark Lemelin. It seemed he was doing a one-arm washout, but he kept pointing at the back of the goal.
Yeah, he was pointing. This puck is hitting the net. Cole came back on the ice. There was some concerns about his back, perhaps, after that tip-in goal to tie the game. And he gets knocked off the puck below the goal line in his own zone, and Marchand takes this puck short side. Quick attack, and he almost kind of fanned on his shot by the looks of it. Good pressure by Bergeron. There's the quick shot. Rebound comes right back. Looks like Bergeron taps at it again, maybe with the backhand. No, it was a forehand. And the Bruins take the lead. The initial stop by Lenton. He tries to get the blocker down, but he can't get the glove on top of that loose puck. Marchand gets to it first. His own rebound, and the Bruins retake the lead with a good forecheck.
Let's go Stars, the chant from the crowd. A little bit of a rugby scrum.
Oh, and I like this too.
Yeah, and Kevin Miller comes up to the edge of the face-off circle and looks across at Antoine Roussel, who is no stranger to danger. Once a Bruins property, and Roussel leading Dallas with 7 fighting majors. Miller's had a really good, solid game for the Bruins tonight.
Yeah, it was Marchand that was lined up with Roussel after the goal right at the red line. Things got a little heated, and Kevin Miller stepped right up and said, I'll line up here for the face-off, boys.
So it's turning into a highly emotional game for the Bruins and Dallas Stars. There's Miller back of the goal. Eakin, Garbutt in the corner, back to Gonchar along the line. Connauton tips it forward. Paille angles him off. Connauton keeps the legs moving right through. Campbell swivels it to Paille. Paille one-on-one against Roussel forward. Paille cuts it back. Thornton closes, tries to roof it, and goes over the top of the goal. Eakin nudges it past Bartkowski, but McQuaid is there. Now cross ice. Campbell with space. The shot, glove saved by Lettonen. So Brad Marchand lines up at the red line for the face-off, and we see a little of an exchange of positions when Kevin Miller goes in there.
You know, it's kind of what Dougie Hooter was talking about with us, Jack, as we take a look at what happened after the face-off. Miller in a good battle with Eakin, short side of the net, take your man, eliminate, box out, protect the front of the net. But that's what Dougie Hooter was talking about, stick together, be a group, have one another's back, and that's a pretty good example of it right there in the face-off.
Krejci with Iginla and Lucic. Boychuk and Chara at the blue line. Boychuk drives it right into the gut of Lehtinen.
A good face-off win by David Krejci. Wins it pretty clean. Able to get under the stick of Ben. Boychuk's in good position. Seguin making his way out of there, but not sure he wanted to stay in that shooting lane. But Lehtinen was able to smother it because you had a couple of nice opportunities, perhaps. Iginla rotated to that slot area. Krejci going to the net.
Krejci wins the faceoff against Jamie Benn. Boychuk tosses the backhand to the corner. Brendan Dillon against Krejci there. Lucic nudges to Krejci in a crowd. Lucic fires it to Chara. He winds up and blasts Lehtinen. Blocks it to the corner. Iginla wiggles it underneath. Now it's Krejci bringing it back to Chara along the line to Boychuk. Wrists it toward the middle. Lucic battling for the puck. Boychuk knocks it down. The backup drive goes wide. Jordy Ben starts out right side, hammers it off the boards. Chara tries to flag it down with Nichushkin, the big young Russian, right on him. Nichushkin tumbles down. Here's a bad angle shot from Jamie Benn, and Chad Johnson tracking it. Chara in the middle of the ice. Traffic jam between Lucic and Boychuk as they get tangled.
And Lucic got focused on a return pass from Chara, and Boychuk was right in his way.
Seguin angles the redirection toward Chad Johnson. Whitney in a puck battle against Bartkowski. Bartkowski mucks along the boards. Eriksson chips it ahead of Soderberg on the go. He's got Spooner middle. Soderberg finds McQuaid. McQuaid dinks, goes around Horkoff, finds Eriksson, but it's off his skate hard and bounces to Fiddler. Fiddler tosses the backhand to center. Bartkowski backs in and then sends it out. Spooner with Horkoff giving him a pretty good chop. Bartkowski has Soderberg on the right. Gives it to Soderberg down to the corner against Goligoski. Hits the brakes. The puck pops up off Fiddler's skates. Eriksson jams against Connaughton, who seals him off. Good shielding of the puck from Goligoski to get it back to Connaughton.
Yeah, a good effort by Soderberg here tonight. Both he and Spooner combining for 7 shots back through 2 periods. So some opportunities from your third unit as well.
Newer Bruins getting the message from the coaching staff. McQuaid with a poke check. It's Marchand and Bergeron working against Gonchar. Off of Gonchar's skate, and it pops all the way to Lehtinen. And Bergeron is trading down in the crease. And Roussel, I believe, is lobbying for Bergeron to be sent to the box for roughing. But as a lawyer, he's got some work to do. Brad Marchand has the Bruins back on top 2-1. It's getting emotional in Dallas.
2-1 your score. Bruins over the Stars. You hear that phrase, gap control, body position, stick position. McQuaid had all of it. The poke check creates another 2-on-1 for the Bruins. Marchand and Bergeron.
Marchand hustling to the corner, and we get an interference call against Goligoski. He'll go to the box, and the Bruins have a power play with 14 to go in this game and a chance to expand the lead.
Marchand has walked the line real good tonight for the Bruins tonight, being that pest, a little ball of hate, being productive, has the go-ahead goal. He's trying to get to this loose puck, the stick work by Goligoski, trip, interference, whatever you want to call it. Bruins will have a power play. What an opportunity for a power play goal to extend your lead to 2 here in the third period.
Bergeron to Chara to Riley Smith. The tip drive and a save by Lehtinen, but Smith with those beautiful hands putting the puck where it could be redirected on goal.
Yeah, Chara on the back end here now. We've seen this for the last couple of games in the absence of Dougie Hamilton, along with Riley Smith on that left point. Nice shot by Smith. Totally intent on getting that puck for the redirect. One of those shot passes looking for Bergeron.
Bruins with just 1 shot on goal in their first power play in this game, way back in the first period. Bergeron in a puck battle against Fiddler. Roussel finds the puck and trickles it forward. Now he's going to try to outrace Chara, but Chara has it. Leaves for Smith. Eriksson swinging up the left. Bergeron on the right, and Soderberg already past the red line. Fiddler knocks the rush down. Smith recovers it to Chara. Center circle, Eriksson into space to Bergeron. Bergeron hooks around to the backhand, brings it to Chara, over to Smith. Bergeron high slot. Chara fishes it out of his skates. Eriksson, Bergeron, Chara's wrist shot tipped, and it trickles just wide of the post. Chara knocks the puck down at the line, uses the big reach, but here comes Eakin. Short-handed breakaway against Chad Johnson. He fires wide with Eriksson getting back and getting just enough stick on him to alter the shot. Bergeron off the end boards. Lucic fresh off the bench, tries to get it to Krejci. Here's Krug, sends it around the rim. And Garbutt gets the puck clear. 40 seconds to go on the Boston power play. Spooner leads his skates to glove it down, but he can't prevent the clear by Gonchar.
Just a miscommunication, I guess you want to call it, between Chara and Bergeron as to who's going to play that puck and who's going to back off. Led to that breakaway short-handed by Eakin. It's the first odd-man rush by Dallas tonight, Joe.
Krejci off the end boards. Lucic to Krug, the one-timer. What a save by Lehtonen. Torrey Krug had a room service pass from Milan Lucic and uncorks a wicked shot. But Lehtonen makes the save of the night.
Krug's really looked for his offensive opportunities tonight. He's had a couple of them. He closes beautifully, knows he has an opportunity to take this backhand feed from Lucic if he sees him and delivers the perfect pass, which he does. And Krug tries to go back across the green to that far side, but Lehtonen gets it with the glove hand.
Some goalies have it hit him in the glove and then they make the flourish. Not that one. He moved to the puck and snared it. Boychuk at the line. Krug shovels it. Krejci to Boychuk, looking for the redirection. Jordy Ben taps the puck to the corner. Krejci picks it off. Waist high, the puck going about 40 miles an hour. Goligoski out of the box.
Offside.
And he's offside ahead of Fiddler's pass, and Fiddler raises his arms in protest.
Bruins fans, don't forget, if you miss any of the action in tonight's game, you can catch Bruins in 2 tonight and every game night at midnight. Bruins in 2 is presented by Kiel Vodka. Stay balanced.
A lot of black and gold in the crowd tonight in Dallas. Stars only averaging about 3/4 of capacity at this giant airplane hangar of a building. But when this team wins, the fans come out. Adam McQuaid wrists it off the corner boards. Connaughton finally gets it across to Gonchar and then gets the return. Kevin Connaughton up past the red line. Jamie Benn redirects it behind Chad Johnson. Johnson wrists it around the glass. Campbell kicks it out of his skates, tries it past Paille. Gonchar off the boards. Campbell whacks it away from Sagan. Sagan recovers and back to Gonchar. Gonchar up to the attacking line. Sagan gets it in deep. It gets past Johnson. Chara on the far side locks up against Chiasson. Paille trying to keep Jamie Benn along the boards. The puck hops up shoulder high. Daly knocks it down. Campbell has to go back inside the line, and now Thornton with the extension controls the puck. Indirect off the end boards for Adam McQuaid. Dallas in the middle of a change. McQuaid pulls it back. The Bruins getting fresh personnel on the ice. Trevor Daly for the Stars. Now Goligoski fires it to the right wing. Fiddler hammers the backhand around through the corner. Goligoski, the defenseman, on the left wing. Now Bartkowski and Fiddler muck for the puck in the corner. Bartkowski caves him in. Fiddler from one knee gets it to Cole, trying to work through the seam. Turns back against Bartkowski. Goligoski drives it through the crowd, and the puck hits the end board. Bartkowski up to Eriksson, hard off his skates. Fiddler is there. Saucers the puck cross ice. Cole scoops the backhand around through the corner. Competing factions try to out-cheer one another at American Airlines Center as the Bruins ice the puck.
After Sunday's game in Chicago airs on NBC, catch up with Dale and Billy Monday afternoon at 2:30 when WB Mason presents Bruins Face Off Live. They'll take a look at what the Bruins need to do to avenge their 4-2 loss in LA earlier this month. They'll take a look at Andrej Kopitar and Team Slovenia's chances in Sochi. All that and more Monday at 2:30.
Off the face-off, it's Roussel back to the point. Jordy Ben bounces one wide. And the puck comes back to center. Cody Eakin swerving. Tosses it over to Corey Dillon. Jordy Ben pulls up short. Garbutt over the line. The tap back to Smith. Now here comes Marchand exploding diagonally to the right. Hits the brakes at the hash marks. Tries to sweep it through Eakin. He can't do it. Jordy Ben with Bergeron in his face. Up the wall. Krug's quick release and Lettinen scoops it up off the ice. 9:16 to go in the game. The Bruins out shooting Dallas 33-27 and up 2-1. Save of the game brought to you by Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you?
Torrey Krug moving in from that left point position, looking to extend the Bruins lead to 2 in this 2-1 hockey game. He's ripping it far side, but Lettinen with an athletic move, good read, great glove. Keeps the Stars within range.
You know, something you've pointed out in the last half dozen games or so, Milan Lucic is a really good passer. People know him for his physical game, his ability to score clutch goals, but the guy can really feather the puck too.
Yeah, he's added that. He's gotten better at it throughout his career. And when you play with a guy like David Krejci, which he's played the majority of his career here in Boston, you're going to learn the art of the give and go and how to make plays.
Krejci to Lucic, gains the line again. Snapshot saved by Lettinen, and that had some Chinese mustard on it. Lettinen juggling the puck as it exploded into his glove.
It's a great example again of a quality breakout. You break that puck out, you execute, you manage the puck. Now you got speed through the neutral zone. Krejci with a huge goal late in the second period. He's playing the left wing on this breakout. Able to lay a nice little soft pass to Lucic in stride, gain the line, back the D off, drop it to Iginla. Continue on your way to the net. Iginla will get it through. But it starts with a breakout.
Bergeron tossed out of the faceoff against Cody Eakin. Bergeron now to the shooter's position with Marchand to take the draw. Marchand wins it clean to Chara. He backs up, gets the screen to form, and Garbutt makes the block. Smith past Marchand. Jordy Ben pulls the puck away from Bergeron. Ben flicks it to the boards. Nobody there except Bruins. Chara on the backhand. Gets it in deep. Marchand gets banged by Jordy Ben. Eakin tries to turn the corner on Bergeron. Nothing doing. Has to go right back to the middle. Dillon sprays it wide. Garbutt off the boards. Boychuk whacks the backhand past Riley Smith. Garbutt tries again. Smith gains the line. Goes right between Jordy Ben and the boards, but loses possession. Garbutt, Brown University product, speeding through the neutral zone, gets past Krejci's stick check, works against McQuaid, backhands it toward the line, but Krejci takes it away. Lucic against Connaught, cross ice for Iginla. He's got Bartkowski nearby, throws it to Krejci in front, who tips it wide. Krejci shielding against Eakin. Krejci, indirect from McQuaid, quickly rattles it to Bartkowski, settles it, the shot, then Lettinen angles it to the end board. Iginla trying to get it center to Krejci. Krejci the tap into the front. Cole makes the play with the pass intended for Iginla. McQuaid off Eakin's stick. Lucic goes after the puck, but Connaught finds some space and skates it to the red line. He wrists it past McQuaid, and they're going to call McQuaid for interference here. Time this against the timing of the Dillon hit on Eriksson earlier in the game. And you're going to find that Steve Pizzeri has changed the threshold on the fly. The timing was very similar.
Well, McQuaid, we already mentioned, he's had a real good gap tonight. There he is here, standing up, pushes his man offline, and Connaught just falls to the ice. And that's just, I don't know. I guess it's a penalty, Jeff, because McQuaid's in the box.
Dallas 1 for 5 on the power play with 8 shots on goal and scoring on its most recent man advantage. Alex Goligoski. Jamie Benn working against Boychuk. They bump. The puck goes to the corner. Benn whips it around through the corner. Bergeron there makes the simple play, scaling out the backhand.
Seems simple, but that puck's bouncing and spinning. You know the pressure's coming, and you're on your backhand.
Goligoski working all the way to the boards. Chara puts the shoulder on it. Boychuk tees up, rattles it past Goligoski. Here's Paille on the fly with Lettinen coming out. Lettinen right in front of his own goal off Sagan's skate. Gregory Campbell he wrists it in off the end boards. Paille looks for a change. They tell him to stay out there. Jamie Benn over the center dot. tumbles it in toward Johnson. He catches it on the short hop. No, it comes out of his glove to the end board. Here's Paille. 3-on-2 for the Bruins if they want it. Bartkowski jumping up on the rush. Paille with Bartkowski peeling off, fires it on Letson, and he spills it out of the glove for Ray Whitney. 3/4 of a minute to go on the man advantage for Dallas. Whitney closes past the dot. Kick saved by Johnson, and Eriksson sends it down the river. 30 seconds to go on the power play. Louis Eriksson steals the outlet. Valeri Nichushkin, Krejci with the pressure. Eriksson, the backhand on Letson, and loose puck. Gonchar to Eakin. 15 seconds to go on the man advantage. Nichushkin lobs it past Boychuk. Chara pulls it off the kick plate, gets away from Whitney, goes indirect past Daly to get the puck to Krejci, who is coming down to the half boards, and a penalty coming against Dallas. I guess you got to even them up at some point, huh? Chara off the backhand of Marchand, possession for Dillon, and Boston to a man advantage with 5.5 to go in the game. A chance to expand the lead to 2 with a man advantage. It'll be winning time when we come back.
On this Sunday, January 19th, the Boston Bruins and Bob's Discount Furniture hosting a blood drive to benefit the American Red Cross from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at TD Garden. The Bees game against the Blackhawks will be playing throughout the arena and on the Garden HDX. To register and get more info, visit that website that you see right there.
Bruins on the power play, 5.5 minutes to go in the game. Ray Whitney in the box for hooking Zdeno Chara. Louis Eriksson back to Chara. He's got Riley Smith with him. The wrist shot, the rebound, Soderberg behind Lehtonen and past the open goal. Bergeron low for Soderberg in front, looking for Riley Smith. It's off Fiddler's stick. Roussel. Smith knocks it down. Roussel able to clear. Chara to Eriksson. Dillon with another big hit. Bergeron's one-timer, he fouls it off. Dillon brings it up ice. Dillon, not known for his offense, hesitates, throws it to Roussel. Roussel comes out the other side with the puck on the shorthand, and he'll rag some time off the clock. Dillon drills the puck off the end board. Krejci to Krug. He's got Spooner ahead. Spooner accelerates through the neutral zone, tosses it to the end boards, and follows it in against Goligoski. Lucic scoops it back to Krug, who makes a nice play to keep the puck flat. Krejci down the boards. Spooner back to Krejci to Krug. He's got Iginla in the circle. Iginla takes the pass and draws Daly. Now it's Krug. Krejci middle of the line against Garbutt. Krejci, the wrist shot. Lucic scores! And they're going to say it's a goal. That's the ruling on the ice, I believe. And although we got, again, the one-arm washout signal, they're going to have to take a look at this. It's so difficult to prove whether a stick was above or below the crossbar on replay because the axis of the camera is rarely at crossbar level.
Well, they're having a conversation right now, and that's what makes you chuckle because we've seen a lot of it tonight. The reversal on what was going to be a penalty on Cole when Chara got his stick into Chad Johnson's mask. Nice little exchange out high. The Bruins had spread out the penalty killers. Krejci walks to the middle. Lucic is working the top of the paint. And here's your wrist shot, as best you can get from a replay at ice level. Is it below the crossbar? And what is the call on the ice?
I believe that Steve Kazari has pointed to the center dot, so I believe the signal is that the call on the ice was a good goal.
And this deflected puck. That's inconclusive. That's why I said, what's the call on the ice?
You cannot tell there.
And the puck makes contact with the shaft of the stick. It's not the blade of the stick. In other words, the blade of the stick can be higher than the shaft, and where the puck makes contact with the shaft, and where is it in relation to the crossbar? It looks high, Jack. It looks high. But where does it make contact with the stick, and do they have a replay?
See, at best that is inconclusive because remember, this camera from which you're seeing this angle is about 20 feet above ice level, maybe even higher than that. So it's looking downward, and there's no way you can tell exactly where that stick is lined up. Here's Kazari. He's taking the headphones off, and we're going to get the call.
After review, the puck is contacted below the crossbar. Call on the ice stands. Good goal.
It is the first time the Bruins have expanded their lead from 1-2 with a power play goal since the 23rd of December when they beat Nashville 6-2. That is an important goal psychologically and in terms of the actual score for the Bruins.
That's the hardest goal to overturn because of the camera angles when you're talking about whether it's under the crossbar or not. So the Bruins get the all go against them on the Campbell kick in, but they're validated on the power play goal by Lucic to extend their lead here in the third period. Under 5 minutes to go, up by 2.
Connaughton gets it through Thornton's stick check. Chiasson takes a whack at Chara. Chara one-hands it to Boychuk. Hard around the boards. Thornton can't clear past Connaughton. Connaughton down into the corner. Boychuk grabs it, backhands it hard around. Paille unopposed on the far side. Seguin comes in late. Boychuk knocks the puck down. And there's Gregory Campbell making himself available on the breakout.
And the execution and the pass by the defenseman, Johnny Boychuk.
Campbell on the end boards, trips over Connaughton's stick. They're going to call a trip on that. That sure looked incidental, but Connaughton's stick was there, and Campbell stepped on it, went over it, and went down, and Kazari's going to send it to the box. And if Dallas fans are upset about that, you can understand why. It looked circumstantial.
The Merlot line has been real good
Dallas
tonight.
minor penalty, number 23, 2 minutes tripping.
They almost look like they've played together before. They bought the energy. They got them off to a good start, even though the goal didn't go their way back in the first period. They've had good forechecking. They've taken the body every opportunity. They've competed. They've set a real good example for everybody else that they are committed tonight. And that's what the Bruins were looking for in their effort. A more Bruins-style hockey game, but still some work to do. 3.5.
On the power play once again, off the faceoff. Krug takes it all the way back to the line, then goes forward for Krejci. Krug sees Antoine Roussel circle past. Fiddler, the other penalty killing forward. Brendan Dillon and Jordy Ben also out there. Ben pokes it loose. Here comes Fiddler, whose last goal was against the Bruins in Boston. He wrists it in on Chad Johnson.
They have the comfort of the 2-goal lead, but if you're going to use that last man coming drop pass through the neutral zone, somebody better make sure that they can rotate back quickly to be a safety valve. If you're Krug leaving the puck for Krejci, and if Krejci's going to try to beat people and that puck gets turned over, you have to be ready to defend even though you have a 5-on-4 situation.
Puck contacted with a high stick in the faceoff will be in the neutral zone. So as one would anticipate, well, the Dallas team down a couple of goals with 3 minutes to go in the game and killing a penalty. The Stars are going to take some chances here. They got nothing to lose by doing that. Jamie Benn tries to win it straight ahead. Lindy Ruff said this morning the Stars are in a position where they got to win 3 out of every 4. And they're coming off a 6-game losing streak. They broke it against lowly Edmonton a couple of nights ago in this building. Carl Soderberg out of the corner runs into Rich Peverley. Dillon spins it forward. Peverley tries to pull the puck along into the middle to Jordy Ben. Jordy Ben gains the line, dekes and goes around Smith. Chara takes the pass, nudges it past Peverley. Louis Erickson scoops it up center circle, and Dillon bangs it back in behind Chad Johnson. An inefficient power play for Boston so far. Ryan Spooner accelerating over the line. He's got Lucic behind. Spooner hits the jet. Comes out the near side, wrists it back to Chara. Chara to Spooner, the quick one-touch pass to Smith. To Chara, the blast tipped up by Daly. Rather, it's Krejci on the far side of the blue line. Here's Chara. Krejci on the half boards now. Slings it to Spooner. He has to flatten the puck first. Down low, Lucic too hot to handle into the middle. Nobody home but Cody Eakin. And he feeds Ryan Garbutt red line. Trevor Daly jumping up, but it springs off his stick. Chara off ahead, 10 seconds to go in the penalty. Lucic cuts back and then swivels it off the near boards. Spooner can't control. The Bruins don't get a shot off during their power play. 1 for 4 with a total of 3 shots with the man advantage tonight. McGinley on the end boards with Daly locking up against him. Tyler Seguin 3-on-2 off ice. Gives it to Connaughton fresh out of the box. Connaughton in front. Seguin jams. And Jamie Benn knocks it in. 1:11 to go, and Dallas is within 1.
Because Dallas turned this puck over in their own zone, Jack, the power play guys stayed longer than they probably should have. McGinley, Spooner, Lucic, and they just don't have enough in the tank to get back. This is a 3-on-2 for the Stars after they get what they needed, which was a penalty kill. Bruins going to put the game away with another power play goal and make it a 4-1 game. And this is just pucks and bodies to the net. But because you don't have the energy to get back, Dallas has numbers, and Ben is giving the Stars a chance.
Dallas with desperation. Chara and Seguin on the faceoff, and Seguin from one knee gets it back to Gonchar, and there goes Letton. The Dallas net is empty. The Bruins have 7 empty netters against their opponents so far this season. Seguin's blast right into Bergeron's legs. He tries it, and it skitters wide. That'll be icing against Boston.
Now Bergeron has a decision to make after he makes the good shot block on the drive by Seguin. He knows he's going to get closed on before he can get to the red line, but he moved to the middle of the ice, and he thought he had a pretty good opportunity to just shoot this puck straight the length of the ice and maybe hit the empty net.
The Bruins want a timeout at 19:08 of the third period.
Timeout Boston. Bruins timeout.
The Audi Performance Play brought to you by your local New England Audi dealers. Experience Audi Quattro all-wheel drive. Tonight, the pressure on the Krejci line to produce.
Well, it was late in the second period. Barkowski made a nice play to jump into the play, carried into the offensive zone. Beautiful retrieval by Lucic to find Krejci in a high slot. That was a huge goal for the Bruins. Late in the second period, established the lead. And then with a 2-1 lead on the power play in the third period, Krejci with a good little wrist shot. Looking for a redirect from Milan Lucic, and he got it.
Milan Lucic with a 2-point game. David Krejci with a 2-point game. Quadrupling the output of that line over the previous 5. Seguin's stick shatters in the faceoff with Bergeron. The Dallas net still empty. Here's Goligoski's drive tip. Saved by Johnson. Loose at the top of the crease. It's underneath. And a pig pile on top of Chad Johnson. And Chara has a beat under his bonnet. And he's just going to tip over Cody Eakin.
You need to finish this game if you're Zdeno Chara. You don't want to take a penalty here if you can help it. You got to protect your goaltender. You got to compete. You got to bring that intensity, but try to stay on the ice if you can. An important 41.3 seconds here for the Bruins to put this game away in regulation. It was a nice pass by Ben out of the scrum along the wall. To find back to the point. There's the drive and the redirect. Double barrel action. Eakin had the redirect. Johnson able to track that puck and be strong on it in the blue paint.
Chara, it was announced earlier, will be the standard bearer for Slovakia, carrying his country's flag into the opening ceremony at the Olympic Winter Games next month. Gonchar on the far side, rattles it down deep. Campbell scoops it up. Does it stay inside the glass? It does. It drops into the Dallas bench. Bit of a heart-stopping moment for Gregory Campbell, but the faceoff back in the Boston zone.
Yeah, the benefit of shooting it towards the benches always works in your favor most times. Unfortunately for Campbell, that puck didn't stay in play. That would have taken another good 10 seconds off the clock.
Bergeron and Seguin lock up on the faceoff, and a win for Dallas. Goligoski, Gonchar's drive through traffic. Smith backhands it free to Bergeron. Bergeron makes sure he gets the red line. Spins it to the far corner. Campbell takes a whack at it. Final 20 seconds. Bergeron scores! Patrice Bergeron sinks the dagger into the Stars' heart. The Bruins will get a win out of Dallas.
Third time's a charm. Tried one from just inside his own blue line. That missed. That was an icing. Gained the red line for the second one. That one went into the corner. Good effort by Campbell. Again, the Bruins using that two centermen on the ice for key faceoffs back in their own zone. Responsible guys, smart players. strong in certain situations with the empty net. Campbell does a nice job, but it's Bergeron who tracks it down, the support. Makes a couple of big plays. Riley Smith was making a play along the right wing boards. He threw it in the middle to where Bergeron comes across. He makes sure that puck gets out of the defensive end, and then he's rewarded at the opposite end with an empty net goal.
Adam McQuaid rattles it around. Eric Cole, Vernon Fiddler rams the puck in front. Campbell clears but not out. Connaughton off a length to the corner, and the Bruins will win the season series 3-2 against the Dallas Stars with a 4-2 victory at American Airlines Center.
Style points tonight, and I'm not talking about the high-flying Oilers of style back in the 80s, but the way the Bruins play, much like the way they played in San Jose at the end of the California trip, that 1-0 game, the high compete level. But this is the way the Bruins want to play, their balance and their compete, and I'll tell you, once they started shooting the puck, only 6 shots in the first period. When they had a good period, they were a far different team and a far more effective team.
A very good performance from Chad Johnson. The Bruins come out of here with a win, and they get to go into Chicago for Sunday's Stanley Cup Final rematch. The matinee on NBC. Feeling pretty good about themselves, Dale.